कुछ चीजों को हम छू सकते हैं, कारें, फोन, कंप्यूटर्स, आपके हाथ में लगातार चलती पेंसिल, रीबॉक के लेटेस्ट जूते, आज का अखबार। कुछ चीजें सिर्फ महसूस की जाती हैं। नई कार में बैठकर सपने पूरे होने का एहसास, नए फोन पर पहली बार अपना मनपसंद गाना, लगातार चलती पेंसिल से बना नया स्केच, आज के अखबार की हेडलाइन पढ़कर आया गुस्सा। कुछ चीजें सिर्फ महसूस की जाती। हमारा म्यूजिक, हमारा कल्चर, योगा, मेडिटेशन, हमारे फेस्टिवल, ये सब हजारों सालों से इंसान की अंदर की भूख को पूरा करते आए, वो जो महसूस की जाती है। सोसाइटी फॉर द प्रमोशन ऑफ इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक एंड कल्चर अमंगस्ट यूथ, स्पिक मैके, उन लोगों से बनी है जो महसूस करते हैं या करना चाहते हैं। बच्चे, बड़े, स्टूडेंट्स, प्रोफेशनल्स, टीचर्स, डॉक्टर्स। फर्क ये नहीं पड़ता कि आपकी उम्र या प्रोफेशन क्या है, सवाल ये है कि आप अपने को समझने के लिए किस हद तक जाएंगे। स्पिक मैके का लोगो है दी वर्टिकल आई और द इनर आई, द आई ऑफ परसेप्शन एंड इंक्वायरी। हमारे लिए म्यूजिक, कल्चर, आर्ट, हमारी सभ्यता, फिलॉसफी वो जरिए हैं जिनसे हम अपनी अमूल्य सांस्कृतिक धरोहर को समझ पाते हैं, वो धरोहर जिसको हम वक्त के साथ साथ किसी हद तक भूलते जा रहे हैं। स्पिक मैके के हाथ और कंधे हैं स्पिक मैके के वॉलंटियर्स, वो लोग जो इस तेज रफ्तार जिंदगी के बावजूद अपनी विरासत, अपनी आइडेंटिटी, हमारे देश की आत्मा और स्वरूप के साथ जुड़े रहना चाहते हैं। हर साल स्पिक मैके के देश भर में फैले वॉलंटियर्स स्कूल्स, कॉलेजेस, इंस्टीट्यूशंस में हजारों इवेंट्स ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं। इन इवेंट्स से हमारी सभ्यता और संस्कृति वहां पहुंचती है जहां हमारा भविष्य है, हमारा फ्यूचर है, हमारा यूथ। फिल्म, थिएटर, म्यूजिक, डांस फॉर्म्स, फोक आर्ट और इन जैसे और माध्यमों से हम लाखों लोगों तक अपनी हजारों साल की विरासत को पहुंचा पाते हैं। वो विरासत जो सिर्फ हमारी है, वो विरासत जिसको बचाना या जाने देना सिर्फ हमारे हाथ में है। वो विरासत जिसको आज हमारी जरूरत है।
A warm namaste to all of you for joining our orientation on SPIC MACAY. We welcome all the attendees today and we welcome our esteemed faculty members and students and our guest speakers who have joined, as well as all the institutions all across the country. So we warmly welcome you. So I would like to just make some preliminary announcements. So we would request you to keep the mics on switch off mode so that the session can be effectively heard by all the listeners and attendees. And we will be having our guest speakers take you through all the different aspects of our movement, SPIC MACAY Society for Promotion of Indian Classical Music and Culture amongst the youth. So we will also be having a Q&A session at the end of the orientation where we would be taking you through, I mean, we would be taking all the questions, and we will clarify each of the queries that you may have in order to facilitate and associate with you in a more holistic way for throughout the year as part of your academic curriculum. So with that, I'd like to now welcome Mr. Dinesh Chand to officially also welcome you all.
Namaskar and welcome you all. I must say it is not possible to recognize each one of you because more than 92 people, 92 connections we have right now to this meeting. But I'm sure there are a lot of students there, and I can see there are some places where they're organized in the classroom. So there are many more students, many more, more than 90. So welcome you all, and I think you would have another 60 minutes to listen to us and understand various facets of SPIC MACAY. And we hope that after this, you will be able to take the movement forward. Towards the end, we will discuss further how you can join with us and how you can work with us together to take the ethos of SPIC MACAY forward. So I will give the mic back to Sabyasachi to take to the next step. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. Sabya, you're mute.
Thank you, sir, for welcoming all. I would like to now invite our next speaker, Shri Arun Sahai, sir, to address the gathering and speak about our movement, SPIC MACAY, and its significance. To introduce sir briefly, uh, Arun Sahai, sir, has been the former chairperson and as well as a very senior volunteer of SPIC MACAY. Sir will be speaking about the conceptual aspect. Having done his engineering from IIT Kharagpur and MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, Sir has worked in the corporate world in various capacities, from projects ranging from diversification, corporate planning, technology transfer, and modernization. And Sir also has the honor of speaking on various forums about the need for education to be more holistic and competitive and innovative. We welcome you, sir. So I think I'll just unmute. Yeah.
Thank you. Dear friends, we have been hearing the famous quote that change is the only constant. Since I graduated from IIT Kharagpur in 1969, in the 50 years, I have seen a fair amount of change. When I did my engineering, we used a slide rule for complex engineering calculations. The students today have not even heard of a slide rule. When I studied management at IIM Ahmedabad, digital marketing was an unheard of concept. Even in the medical profession, there's been considerable change. There's been so much development in scanning technology, robotic surgery. We see a convergence between the medical profession and technology, and there will be more of it in the years ahead. Biotechnology, for instance. Nobody has any idea what is going to happen in the future. And by nobody, I mean nobody. Who knows what the world will be like 30 years from now? And you will be very much working at that time. Yet education must prepare the youth for such a world. The children will see a future we will not. The purpose of education is not to just gather knowledge, but also develop people to deal with the world and develop in people an ability to think, imagine, innovate, and create. You should be able to apply your learning and your future learnings in the situations you will experience in the years ahead and so succeed in life. With all the problems of the present generation, one of the problems is the ability to give prolonged attention. Today's social media wrongly teaches us to be superficial in our attention. You must, on the other hand, give a chunk of time to achieve anything of depth. Initially, the problems and solutions are known when you graduate and take up a job. Later, as you rise in the hierarchy, you come across problems to which you don't know the solution, but you can ask others for solutions to known problems. Finally, as you rise further, you don't even know what the problem is. Forget knowing what the solution is. We work in such ambiguity and need to be prepared for it. Multiple studies link music study to academic achievement. Serious music training seems to correlate with success in other fields. To quote the late Steve Jobs, whom the youth would recognize because they use many Apple products, and I quote, innovation would require a blend of technology and liberal arts, and education systems should encourage such pollination rather than focus on narrow specialization. Unquote. Innovation requires creativity. Our heritage instills such creativity. A rag is sung differently by different artists and by the same artist differently at different times. There is freedom within certain boundary constraints. Arts brings elements of abstraction and critical thinking which science subjects alone do not do. So what is it that will help you cope with the world in future? To my mind, it is our heritage that has been around for thousands of years. On the one hand, I am talking of a changing world, and on the other hand, I am talking of a heritage which has been around for thousands of years. Our heritage, it is meditative, which will help the youth to concentrate and improve in their studies. In yoga, you concentrate as you inhale and exhale. In Nadyog, you concentrate on the note as you sing, and when it is different to the correct note, you have to concentrate to get the correct note. In dance, you concentrate to get the right posture. A musician requires enormous focus, attention, and practice. And you see them when you see eminent artists perform. If you take this ability to concentrate to your studies and whatever work you do, you will be more productive and will be able to study in much less time. It is not surprising that many eminent people were incidentally musicians. Our former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam, a missile scientist, played the veena. Dr. Ramanna, famous for the first atomic implosion in India, played the piano. The great mathematician Srinivas Ramanujan had a classical music background. Einstein, who predicted gravity waves 100 years ago, which we have only now verified, would have been a violinist if he was not a physicist. And he must have worked in the abstract domain because it took 100 years to verify what he was talking about. Professor Manjul Bhargav, professor of mathematics at Princeton University, and winner of the Fields Medal in Mathematics, an equivalent of the Nobel Prize, has said there is something about classical music that has made one more creative even in other endeavors. He believes including classical music in the school curriculum, the country would produce not just better artists, but better scientists, judges, innovators, and in general, better human beings. He is himself a tabla player. The Western world focused on the outer domain and developed products like the laptops, mobile phones, which we use today, whereas we in India focused on the inner domain reflected in our heritage. Our culture is our Indian identity. For no fault of theirs, our own youth are not aware of our culture. With the breakdown of joint families, the generational trickle down of culture is now missing. Parents are unable to take their children to Indian cultural performances because of their long office hours or the academic pressures of the children. I estimate 95% of our youth are not exposed to our heritage. Many will have the SPIC MACAY experience for the first time and, like many others, crave for more through the respective SPIC MACAY heritage clubs. What SPIC MACAY has been doing for the past 47 years in broadening education by taking the best artists in the country, Padma awardees, SNA awardees, to schools and colleges all over the country. That is what makes SPIC MACAY relevant to you, the young generation. SPIC MACAY would develop leadership qualities in students who organize the conventions and programs, and you work in a team. Team working is the future. You get experience of this in SPIC MACAY. This is done in a spirit of Nishkam Seva. There is a joy in giving. There have been programs in many of your colleges, and you would have experienced this. The more good performers there are, the more audiences grow and the arts flourish. If some art forms are allowed to perish, it will be impossible to revive the diversity and richness of yesteryears. Great discoveries of our inner selves, made by our ancestors and reflected through Drupad, Kudiyattam, Rudravina, Sarangi, Guduvadyam, today are on the verge of extinction. It is the youth of today who will be the audiences of tomorrow and help our culture to flourish. We encourage the crafts, which is the second largest provider of employment after agriculture. Students get a chance to learn from the master craftspersons in the intensive workshops that we organize. During SPIC MACAY conventions, youth from all parts of the country congregate to experience, share, interact, and discuss with eminent exponents. The artists are also from all parts of the country, north, south, east, and west, and the northeast. This is national integration. You get to see and experience. As more facts are gathered, knowledge expands. New facts can render old facts and knowledge as invalid. At one time, we thought the world is flat. We now know the world is round. The SPIC MACAY logo represents that inner eye, the eye of perception and inquiry, ever alert in the pursuit of that eternal truth, the eternal Satya. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words about Speak Mackay and the conceptual part of it. So, with this, I would like to invite our next speaker, Shri Dinesh Chand sir. Dinesh Chand sir, introducing sir. Sir is the convener of our higher education group of Speak Mackay, and sir will speak about the various modules which can be organized as part of the Speak Mackay Heritage Club. Sir has been associated with SPIC MACAY for a very long time and is a very senior volunteer. Having done his engineering from IIT Kharagpur, Sir has also been abroad to pursue the higher studies and in the private sector in various senior and corporate responsibilities. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Sabir. Uh, can you share the presentation, Sabir?
Yeah, yeah.
As the presentation slide comes up, I just want to start talking about it. So primarily, Speak McKay has been explained to you in the opening speech of Arunji. We try to bring in Indian culture and the heritage to the youth. Now, to make it happen, we have a framework through which we connect with the institutions. And we have, as the Speak McKay started, we originally started with the music as our first part. And when we talked about music, it consisted of, we have different modules for music. We have the vocal recitals, we have the instrumental recitals, and then for both those vocal and instrumental recitals, we have both the Hindustani art forms as well as the Carnatic art form. We have also the dance as the another module, and dance again we cover east to west, north to south, all the uh, uh, various classical art forms. We bring the artists, we have the artists covering, and all those artists are the best. We take minimum artists who are the minimum Sangeet Natak Academy awardees, such artists are brought. So we will be, when we help an institution to organize a program, we connect them to the artists who belong to any of those art forms which I have just talked about. Then over time, we have also added into the portfolio of various art forms which we let students be exposed to.
I think
For
the
example,
PPT is available.
you said something?
Yeah,
Sabda?
I think it is visible. I hope it is visible. Okay.
Yes, I can see that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so just come to the module part, so it will be easier for everyone to see. Next. Yes. Okay, so as I was just saying, the classical music consists of the Carnatic and the Hindustani, both the instrumental and vocal. We have all art form of the classical dance, folk music and folk dance. We also introduce painting. We also have heritage walk. For heritage walks, we bring some historian who can be expert in that particular area and particular building, and they take the students and participants through various aspects of both the historical as well as the current activities what are taking place in that particular area. In the spiritualism module, we have Sufi music, Qawwali, Gurbani. Literature, we bring people who are the eminent speakers. They talk about various aspects of the social and historical subjects. We also have drama. We have been connected with, for example, Naya Theatre of Habib Tanveer. We brought the team of Naya Theatre to various schools and colleges, and they conducted their dramas. Then the another module we have what we call is the cinema classic. Cinema classics, we have identified over time a set of movies who have had a very classical impact in the past. So they range from the Indian movies of Satyajit Ray to Mahatma, and also we have some movies from the Japanese movies as well. And we encourage students to watch those movies because they carry a very deep meaning and deep subject behind it. Then we have a module, what we call the lecture demonstrations. In the lecture demonstration, we help students conduct some sort of a workshop oriented activity at their institution. An artist will explain to you about that particular art form, and so that you can start appreciating and understanding that particular art form. Because usually when we listen to it or when we watch it, not necessarily all nuances are visible to us, but a lecture demonstration format, when we conduct at an institution, that helps the students to appreciate that. Besides this, we also have the workshop demonstrations. In workshop demonstration, we organize workshops where an artist will come and can conduct usually 5 days or 6 days, 2-3 hour session every day, and uh, through that particular art form which is explained. In those art form, we also have the craft. Craft is a special section which we have added, and we have been doing it for last many years. And I have my colleague Neerja ji also in the meeting today. She will later explain to you about the various craft workshops which we are able to organize at the various institutions. So these are, in nutshell, various modules. And every institution, whenever they conduct a program, it can be a program or a long, what we call a Virasat program, or they can be part of a short program of 2 days or 3 days. They can select whatever is the the module which they want to put together. However, we would always recommend to have a whole spectrum. Ideally, that is the idea, so that you can get the flavor of each of the art forms, whatever we have to offer. So that is overall is the, you can say, the items to choose from: heritage walk, nature walks, and we have another thing, the Gurukul. With that sort of and a scholarship scheme, where we identified once in a year a set of students who can go and live with an artist. And when they live with the artist for a period of 1 month, they see that artist, how the artist perform, how they practice, and they kind of get absorbed into that particular artist's way of life, and they come back really and well understood what is behind that particular, how that artist has reached such a high level. So we organize that scholarship. The students do register for it, and then we have a selection process to ensure that you are really deep into it and you can join, and then we sponsor you to spend the time with the artist. This is how we conduct the scholarship. So I have covered most of the modules. For the craft module, I will leave it to Neerja. Neerja, are you available now? You can probably talk about the craft. Neerja ji, very
Yes,
senior volunteer and ex-vice chairperson as well. Please go ahead, Neerja ji.
thank you. My namaskar to everybody. The arts and crafts workshops, they form a very important part of our activities, because in this we offer gurus who have been recognized by Government of India and the various craft councils for their exceptional contribution in their chosen field, and have been conferred with the state awards, national awards, Shilp Guru awards, and some of them even with honored with the Padma awards. So under this module, we cover a very large range of crafts that include traditional paintings, and these come under the category of folk paintings, tribal, and the temple art. And under the crafts module, we have various block prints, such as the Sanganer, the Bagru from Rajasthan, the Bagh prints from Madhya Pradesh. And then we have from the different states They're like the tie and dye technique, the leheria again from Rajasthan. We have bamboo weaving from the northeast, and terracotta from different states. Every state has a very senior potters who are very highly recognized, and we also offer calligraphy, paper mache, etc. Whatever is possible, we have tried to include the art and crafts in this module. Now, to explain how it is done, during the 3 to 5 day workshop with a group of up to maximum of 50 participants, which is a healthy mix of students and faculty, the master craftsman closely interacts with the participants. He talks about the history of the art form, his own village life, the sourcing of natural colors, and demonstrates even the preparation of these natural colors, as well as the raw materials, the other products that are sourced from his own state. So, apart from the usual drawing techniques and the painting techniques. So, this workshop, in fact, becomes a memorable experience for the participants because as each one gets to complete a painting or a product if they are into in the handicraft section. And I may add here that this is a very, it has been planned in a very a thoughtful manner and also very, very cost friendly because we have kept in mind that the artist gets his dues. The institute, which is paying for bringing the raw material, finds it very, very cost effective. And SPIC MACAY, in fact, only encourages and promotes this module. It does not take any extra, fund for offering you this workshop. So it has become quite popular over the years because as a part of our long series of Virasas, we do have at least one craft workshop also included in that. So that's all. Anybody who's interested can get in touch with any of us in the SPIC MACAY and we can offer you choices as per your interest. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rijaji. You did my job very well. Made it simpler. Back to you, Sabya. I think we have covered all the modules.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, post this, we will be discussing about the concept behind the Heritage Club of SPIC MACAY and how we can use the heritage clubs to facilitate taking our arts and culture to your students. So,
Sabya?
yeah, I'm just sharing.
Okay.
So, so as we discussed about SPIC MACAY and the activities of SPIC MACAY and how we can bring it to your students. So I will be briefly talking about how we can facilitate this with the Heritage Club. So SPIC MACAY has been conducting about 5,000 programs across the country and abroad every year. So this is possible by forming the SPIC MACAY chapters and the heritage clubs as nodal centers or units across all the educational institutions to associate with them. So to conduct to facilitate and conduct these activities, we can form the heritage clubs in your respective colleges and schools and universities, where we can form a student body, and we can form a official club under the aegis of the institution. And it can be every year elected members can be elected to it, and officially the institution can sanction the funds as well as facilitate it as a as one of the educational activities of the students, for the students. So as you know, SPIC MACAY is a voluntary movement. So this club, which is the nodal center or a hub, can serve as a platform for many such kind of experiences which are cherishable for the students. So one of the key aspects of our movement is, as you know, uh, our Indian classical arts and heritage, it it helps us to take us in a alpha zone, or a higher sense of connectedness, which brings us closer to oneself, connect with our inner self. And our founder says that, and he quotes Ustad Nasiruddin Dagar, who was a famous Drupad maestro, saying that Gana bajana सिर्फ एक बहाना है, but the objective is to take them to a zone of alpha state or consciousness, which is very rare to get. But that is where the creation happens, and that is where the creativity happens, that is where the innovation happens, and that is where the real sense of the word comes from, which is intangible and can only be experienced through the abstract. So this is the concept behind the heritage club, which we can bring these experience to the students at a regular interval or a regular schedule, so that they can grow up, and like they can gradually grow up to be better human beings, more sensitized human beings. So talking about this is the benefits of having the heritage club as part of the academics. And in turn, there are many indirect advantages and benefits which the students will benefit from. And like, for example, they will be they will find better balance, they will find better focus, better concentration, and innumerable other life skills and and growth that they will experience. uh, I think somebody is 1 second. Thank you. So I was saying that this will create innumerous growth and skills which the students will uh, gradually develop as when they become a part of the SPIC MACAY Heritage Club. So we can schedule activities with this around the calendar year, and also allocate budgeting and a team. So these are some of the benefits what students can learn being a part of the volunteering team. So as you know, the when we pursue the intangible, there can be millions of tangible expressions of oneself. Students can express themselves in whichever field of volunteering that they would like to be interested in. And through that, it only keeps giving and giving back to them. When we give something to our community and to our students or our society, it only gives back many fold times, it comes back. So there are various groups, there are various uh, sub areas which the students of the heritage club, you can form a 10-member body, and which we will come to, but they can get involved in. So this is like the structure of the 10-member body. So we can have minimum 10 members, but it can be a bigger group depending on the students who are interested to take these things up. So we can have a principal, faculty advisor, and also second faculty advisor. We can have secretary, joint secretary, treasurer, joint treasurer, media publicity coordinator, individual program or activity coordinators, and students can be nominated to this body. So so I was just sharing that through this club, the students can be a take a leadership role in organizing these programs, and also through that learn various skill sets which they will cherish throughout their life, as well as um, different values which they will be fondly remembering their institution or their alma mater for such kind of experiences. So namely graphics, finance, marketing, publicity, leadership, speaking, networking, and it is endless and endless. So Speak Mackay is like a river, and the banks of the river are the seniors and the advisors and the guide and the mentors. And you know, as a river, it has to the students are the strength, and the students, it is a youth movement, and the students keep taking it forward every year to various parts of the country. So we will also talk about like what kind of activities they can engage in as part of the heritage club. So coming to that, one key aspect is our weekly meetings that we conduct. So as you know, Speak Mackay is a purely voluntary movement where we conduct weekly meeting in an educational institution all across the country. So um, every city in the country, we have more than 50 to 100 chapters where all the volunteers and students meet every week at a educational institution, and they discuss about the various activities that can be conducted. So it also gives them the ownership or the continuity, and also we will also come to the details of what all activities they can internally plan out during these weekly meetings of the students and teachers. So we can have talks, we can have audio visual presentations, we can have we can present cinema screenings, we can present concerts. Speak Mackay has a wide documentary of more than 100 recordings of eminent maestros. We can play these during the weekly meetings. We can have, like, they can also use this to plan out various further activities like planning, budgeting, publicity. And they can also, the heritage club can also spread this movement to other areas in your respective cities and region. So that also fosters a sense of community involvement. Students can take the leadership and spread it to 10 other, say, let's say 10 other nearby institutions, nearby in vicinity of your institution. Like recently we did the cinema classic screening, where the host institutions invited to their own college or institution from 10 to 20 other nearby institutions to come and see the screening of Making of the Mahatma. Just giving examples. We also have the Shan series, where we can have artists come and take workshops, and you can spread that to all the nearby institutions as well. And this way, it will, the the culture and the fostering the sense of involvement to the students will only get more and more, it will increase. So other than that, we can also have, students can create newsletters, they can create you know documentaries, and they can also screen some movies, and they can also create their own presentations. Students can have their internal presentations as part of the heritage club as well. Like you saw the various modules, we can also conduct the nature walk or museum tours, which is also an online module. So all these activities, once you make the heritage club, and then you sanction then you officially make a body of 10 members along with a faculty advisor. These all activities can be slotted, or in advance, can be planned out in your academic calendar. How you want to, for example, we shared the idea of the virasat. So we also shared the idea of the yoga workshops, craft workshops, classical music. So all these activities that we just spoke about, these can be slotted like cinema screening, and then you can plan it in advance during your academic calendar, alongside your curriculum, and so that it is also suitable for you, for the institution, and as well as it creates a greater impact to all the students by involving each and every student. So I think primarily as an operational club, right? These are the things that you can organize part of the heritage club, and you can take a leadership role in spreading our culture and heritage to each and every child of the country. So with that, we'll just show you some of the letters of recommendation also, um, that also suggest as part of the national education policy to pursue the Indian knowledge systems and the India's education system, which are our classical art forms have been preserving since thousands of years in an unwritten oral tradition. So it is not it is experiential in nature. So uh, hence, and it is very abstract and it is very subtle. So it is not like other subjects, where you can say, like, you can write an exam and you can pass the exam and it will be done. But our heritage is so subtle, it needs persistent pursuing, and nurturing that seed. It's like a seed which needs to be nurtured on a daily basis, so that it blooms and grows into a beautiful tree over the period of time, slowly. But if we don't nurture that initial sapling of the seed that we sow, the results will only show up slowly once the roots have spread out, and the tree comes out over the period of time, right? Hence our government also has been formulated the national education policy to promote the Indian knowledge systems and heritage to young students. So these are some circulars from the UGC, then AICT, then CBSE, which also has laid a lot of emphasis on the NEP and the NCF 2023. So they are all recommending to form a heritage club in your institution, so that students can get exposure to these aspects through great gurus, great maestros. They may be learning music as a subject in the schools, but beyond that learning, right, there is a sense of inspiration which is very difficult to get. Finding a guru is like the most difficult thing to get in across the world. So we are making an attempt to give them that experience of Guru Shishya Parampara, which is a very abstract and rare concept. So these are the circulars from NAC, and you know, needless to say, so it will only make the academics more robust when alongside that students also give a little bit of their time and pursue a little bit of our heritage also. So with this, I think we will now come to the next part of our talk. I would like to invite um, our next speaker for the day, Shrimati Suman Dunga ma'am. Suman Dunga ma'am is from Delhi. I would like to introduce her. She is our National Vice Chairperson, and Suman ma'am has been associated with SPIC MACAY since 2006 and has been a very strong proponent in spreading our heritage and culture throughout the world. And also she has been our media director, so she has taken a leadership role to spread this movement. Just as all of us as a volunteer, she has taken this leadership to spread our heritage in all the media across the country and abroad. So Suman ma'am, please introduce and thank you. I would like to talk about, she would like to talk about the volunteerism aspect. Yes, ma'am, you can just unmute.
Yes.
Yes, you can unmute. Yes.
Yes. Hello. Can you able to hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Can you able to hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear
yes,
you.
yes.
Yes.
Please.
Namaskar. Thank you, Sachi, for wonderful introduction. And I will specifically talk on Nishkam Seva without wasting any time. As we all know that SPIC MACAY के हाथ और कंधे हैं उसके volunteers. So understanding Nishkam Seva is a selfless service, and it is a key philosophy embedded in all our SPIC MACAY activities. This concept means serving without expecting any personal gain or reward. So we all know that this is very important and powerful tool. When you work without any expectation, you don't know what you will get in return. So SPIC MACAY, you can see all volunteers who have just spoke, they are so successful in their old fields, and now also they are contributing to the society in their own way. So volunteering efforts is very important, and it includes organizing events, coordinating with the artists, conducting workshops, and many other fields, as Sabya has explained. So support from the government and the patrons, many supporters of SPIC MACAY, including government officials, they also can be our big volunteer and supporter all the time. It is very strong pillar of our movement. So engagement of the youth philosophy also extends how SPIC MACAY encourage students and the youth who are participating by various verticals, as Sabya has explained. In children are learning without, doing any much efforts like administration, media, and we are doing internship also, giving training to the students, and they are learning, which is very beneficial for their own career. And cultural preservation, selfless service is crucial to maintain non-commercial approach, and purely on cultural education and enrichment is very important in SPIC MACAY. So Nishkam Seva is not just a principle, but the foundation of SPIC MACAY is functioning also. It ensures that the movement stays true in its purpose and preserving Indian heritage without commercial interest. And the volunteers, students, and patrons engage with cultural tradition with deeply meaningful, selfless manner. Thank you very much. Thank you. I don't want to talk much because time is already it's 11:56, and the question answer session is also very important. So over to you, Sabya, now.
Thank you, ma'am. So we like to briefly show a message from our founder, Dr. Kiran Seth.
My dear friends, SPIC MACAY, the Society for the Promotion of Indian Classical Music and Culture amongst Youth, is a voluntary movement and is trying to bring the best of our heritage into the lives of young people. Now, in a voluntary movement, what is the first thing that's required? Obviously, volunteers. See, in a company, what you do is you set up a big setup and then you hire people. But in a voluntary movement, you first get the people and then you look for a place and money and all the other things. So the most important ingredient in a movement like ours are volunteers. And therefore, I'm requesting you to give a little bit of your time to this lovely movement. And if you can't, then look for somebody, friends, Romans, countrymen, who can give a little bit of their time. Anyone from the age of about 15 till 75, 80, who can, who's a little active and who can give a little bit of their time. It could be housewives, it could be retired people, it could be staff members, students, etc., etc., etc. But I really request all of you to try to bring this wonderful idea of Nishkam Seva back into society. Today, NGOs are largely speaking very professionally run, but we have purposely kept it as a voluntary movement because we wanted to bring this encouragement, we wanted to encourage this concept of giving without expectation. This used to be one of the wonderful things in our society at one time. Today, everything has become a transaction. I give you something, then you give me back something. But here, I often call this law of Nishkam Seva is something like the Newton's third law of motion. The Newton's third law of motion says to every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. But here, there's to every action, the reaction far exceeds the action, but does not come from where the action is placed. It gets multiplied, 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 and then comes from somewhere else. There's only one rider. If you expect, it gets broken. So therefore, this concept is one very integral part of the thinking process in SPIC MACAY. And therefore, we would like to have really truly volunteers who want to give of themselves without expecting anything in return. Now, this is a very difficult call, I know. People do expect whenever they give, whatever they give, they would like to get something back. But the less you expect, it's a progressive thing. It happens progressively. When you start giving, then you go with some expectation. But as you keep on giving, you find that the level of expectation keeps coming down. And finally, it should come to that level where you don't expect anything. And that itself is a very, very great thing. So therefore, I'm requesting all of you to give a little bit of your time to this movement which is trying to bring some aspects into the lives of young people which are sorely missing. A little amount of abstraction, a little amount of subtlety, a little amount of inspiration, and a respect for the mystical. I remember what Birju Maharaj Ji used to say. He said that mere guru ke bade bade mooche the, and he was very fat, matlab stout. And when he did the Radha Krishna theme, he just with his eyes, from one side he went, from being Krishna, with his eyes he became Radha. And he said that nowadays if I try it, it'll just get missed. Nobody will be able to see it. Ustad Bismillah Khan Sahab used to say, आजकल वाह वाह करवाने वाले बहुत हो गए, पर निकलवाने वाले गिने चुने रह गए. So these are some of the things which are missing in our lives today. Everything has become entertainment, very little of elevation, All these aspects can be brought in if we concentrate a little bit on our heritage. And therefore, I'm requesting you for your support and your help. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. So we have now reached concluded our various topics that we would like to present, and we can now have the question answer session. So if you wish to ask any queries, any questions, you can raise your hand and we will just unmute you one by one, and we will take each and every question. Thank you. So please raise your hand on Zoom. So
Excuse me, Sabya. Usha ji is there? Usha ji?
namaste, namaste, Usha ma'am. Yes.
Usha ma'am, please invite her to.
After the question answer session, I'll come. Now that he's announced, I'll come after that.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So first I'll invite Dr. Kalyankar. Yes, sir. Please ask your question.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Pratima Kalyankar from Pune, Maharashtra.
Okay.
So we are very enthusiastic and eager to start our heritage club. So are there any formalities we are supposed to follow to form a heritage club, or are there any additional guidelines from SPIC MACAY to form a club?
I think, yeah, Dinesh sir, would you like to take that?
Should I take that question?
Yes, yes, yes.
In fact, this is a question which is being asked by many others. I noticed that. You see, connecting with SPIC MACAY has already begun. Since you have joined this orientation, I think this is the beginning. The next step, what we have been talking about, is that you have to create a structure, so-called, what we call it, the SPIC MACAY Heritage Club. So if we have not already shared with you, there are a set of guidelines which have been also discussed in this meeting. Please form a group and you call it a SPIC MACAY Heritage Club at your institution. Once you have done that, we will connect you, your institution, with our regional local volunteers who will get connected with you. And then you start planning. Okay, you want to do an activity, you want to perform, a particular concert at your place. They will help you to undertake that. Some institutions, let me tell you, also they graduate like that. Once they can do one event, then they have a club. And after the club, many of them talk about, because some questions have been asked, can I do an MOU, memorandum of understanding, etc. But that is the next step. The moment you form the group, please let us know. Any one of us will let us know that the group is there. We will connect you with the concerned volunteer, and then you will start doing your activities. And for those activities, I'm sure there will be some budgeting issues you will have questions about. There are some expenses which your institution may need to bear. There are certain expenses which we will bear along with you. So that's how these events will be conducted. Does it answer your question? I
Yeah.
think we can take
Thank
the
you.
next
Thank you,
question.
sir. Yeah. Okay. So we will go to next question. I think somebody has written, we have established the forum, hence we are asking for further formalities. Yeah, so I think as sir has just explained, you once you form the heritage club, you can also apprise us and let us know. And if you would like to, as sir mentioned, if you would like to also sign a MOU, we can also do that for your yearly schedule calendar of events that you would like to put in your academic calendar for, say, for this year, or as many academic years. So next question, Kashish, please go ahead.
Hello, sir. I would like to ask that after forming the Heritage Club, will the children perform or can we invite the artist to perform for the school?
Yeah,
Let me answer that question. You see, I think what we have already explained to you, our purpose is to bring the best of the art forms, best of the artists, so that the students and faculty experience that. I know that request sometimes comes that is it a training school for them to learn music? Not entirely. It is not possible because if somebody wants to learn, what we are trying to do is give you an exposure of the culture and the best of the art forms. So, however, we have also mentioned that when you are conducting your Heritage Club meetings, you use that forum, you listen to the best of the art forms which are these days available on the internet and the YouTube, and listen to
I think we lost the sir. I think we lost the connectivity. Sir, you can again unmute yourself. Sir, you can unmute yourself.
just saying that. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
So the answer to that question was that if you form the club, the purpose of that club, the activities of that club is to invite the best of the artists and do a concert or do a performance or do a workshop at your institution. So this club will work more like a organizing body. Besides that, when they do their weekly meetings, they can also spend time in listening to the best of the classical art forms, which they are being exposed through SPIC MACAY. That is the purpose. So if somebody in the group wants to play or sing amongst themselves, that is a different thing altogether. That's not part of the SPIC MACAY activities. Whenever you put that, like you can see that the third eye behind our screen, you are expected to put that, and then you are in the SPIC MACAY mode. And the SPIC MACAY mode means you will be bringing the best of the artists and the performance, and you will be watching that and exposing that artist to your rest of your institutions and the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. So next question, RS Turdana, you can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself. Okay, so I'll be reading the questions in the comments section. So, okay.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Oh, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So still our institution has not done that MOU process. Can you explain the process, how it has to be carried down, the MOU?
Okay, sure. Yeah, yes, ma'am. You would like to answer? Ma'am, you would like to answer, Usha, ma'am?
No, she was not audible. That's why I said that.
Okay.
What is her
Yeah, actually,
question? Yeah.
Still our institution has not done that MOU process. Can you explain how it is to be carried down the MOU process? That is Memorandum of Understanding.
Sabya, can you just repeat that question?
Yeah. So she's asking how to, formalize and sign the create a MOU for association with SPIC MACAY. So
yeah, the for creating an MOU is a secondary step, as Dinesh sir and as Sabya or everybody said that first you have to create a heritage club and give SPIC MACAY a shape in your institution. And how will you do this? Because after this orientation is over, only few of you have listened to us. There are many students whom you would like to know what SPIC MACAY is. So I would request you to have a meeting with them and introduce SPIC MACAY to all of them. Let them be aware of it, and then next stage will come then when the students can have a weekly or fortnightly meeting in your colleges. Once you have done all these things, then you will know what is the importance of MOU. That is the stage when we can enter into MOU. And also, without entering into any MOU, you can your next step is to take up the activities of SPIC MACAY. You can have 1 activity, 2 activities, 3 activities as per your convenience. So this is how I feel that you can go forward. Thank you.
Thank you. So, thank you, Usha ma'am. So, I think your question, does that answer your question, ma'am? Thank you. So, okay, next question. And I would just add to that. I think there is a key difference between a heritage club, as ma'am just explained, and going for a MOU. When you form a heritage club, there are no, I think someone asked in the comment section, so there are no costs associated just for forming the heritage club, right? As part, when you become a part of SPIC MACAY, there are no costs associated, but when you sign a MOU, you have to sanction your annual budgeting and for the respective events, and that's how we can proceed. So that is the key difference between these two aspects. So you can sign a MOU once you have done all the formalities. Okay, so next question. User, would you like to ask? Or you, okay. IPSA Rajkot. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Okay. IPSA Rajkot.
The user has to identify themselves. User is no name.
Okay, so my name is Brinda Shah, and I'm sitting with my colleague Devang Parikh. We are representing School of Architecture, Rajkot. We want to know the different frameworks of budgetary arrangements for different kind of programs, and we need to sort of get some clarity on how it works if the institution is being involved. Thank you.
Sir, good evening. Myself from Sarda College, Tirunelveli. Sir.
Yes.
Sir, it's an autonomous college and a university, and it's an A-grade college. Already we are performing diploma in performing arts with the art, photography, videography, etc., music and song, drama and plays, dance forms of Tamil Nadu, musical instrument, etc. In addition, our institution is also performing, our students are performing yoga and meditation, and they are practicing Sanskrit and Hindi also. And they are having 2 forums called Kala Sarda and Gana Sarda, and they are doing many activities similar to your heritage club. So our question here is there any typical prescribed application form to join this heritage club? And if it is so, you can share. And second one, once if you are having, since we are doing activities, if we submit our reports, can we get an approval from your side to establish the heritage club?
Sir, can you take, yes.
Let me take. There are 2 questions. In fact, one was asked from IPS earlier. That was about funding, and this question is slightly different. Let me take the funding questions first from the IPS. You see, the funding is involved when you are going to be starting to conduct the activities, and some of the activities which you perform under SPIC MACAY Heritage Club may not have any expense at all. You know, for example, classical movies, if you are kind of conducting, there is no expense at all involved. But there are other activities where some expense will be involved. And for that expense, we would expect 2 things. First of all, none of our programs have got any ticketing. No participants in audience or faculty who is attending those programs will be making any payments. So it will be free for all your students and the neighborhood students. However, there are expenses involved, so which we expect the expenses can be related to your travel of your artist, picking up the artist from your next point, wherever the artist had traveled to, bring the artist to your place, uh, host the artist, if you are an outstation institution, and sometimes you may need to accommodate them in your guest house or in the hotel accommodation. Those are the kind of expenses which you need to bear. There are also expenses involved with the honorarium. And as far as SPIC MACAY is concerned, the artists who perform for SPIC MACAY, they have a very special nominal fees which they charge, which SPIC MACAY will advise you, and that would be also taken care. That is how the expenses are managed. So we are not wanting, to have a very huge budgeting. You don't need to do that. Make a beginning. Once you have made a beginning, you have got the club in place. Gradually, you will also figure out that when you are doing a bigger event, which we require funding, you will be able to even go to in your neighboring areas and raise funds for that event. But for that, before you raise funds, you have to establish yourself. And while raising funds, we also have restrictions that we do not take funds from companies, which are involved in things like, the cold drinks and the items which are not considered as part of the values which SPIC MACAY has. That is your answer of the question to the IPS. The second question was from this institution, which is already having a lot of activities. They're already involved in culture. They're carrying out the activities already as part of their coursework, classwork. All that is fine. All we are requesting is you create a SPIC MACAY Heritage Club group. It does not require any formal application to be made or given an approval by us. You can go ahead and let us know that this, because we have already shared with you the guidelines, that this is what you have created. But then that group needs to focus on the activities which SPIC MACAY would like you to do. For example, if you want to bring an artist or perform a concert, or you perform a series of concerts under our Virasat framework, you will do that. And that is the time there would be some funding, etc. involved. And those are the activities which SPIC MACAY is involved in, will be counted as an activity done. All other activities which you do at your institution, that's your part of the curriculum. Please continue to do that. Does it answer your question?
Yes, sir. Absolutely, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I think next question, yeah, and also one point, once we introduce you to the, like, some questions are there regarding to the exact specific cost, right? We will introduce you to your regional city coordinator, and you can then get with the funding, exact planning, budgeting, financing part with them also. So I think someone mentioned from Rajasthan, um, you mentioned you were being trying to reach out for 10 years but could not get a response. uh, Principal Nymphia from Nosegay Public School, Rajasthan. Ma'am, you can
Which
okay, we can take your query separately, ma'am. You can reach out to,
which part of Rajasthan is she from?
she's from Ganganagar.
Ganganagar is a prominent place. I think we had programs there. So we can connect them to the local chapter people. Simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that apologies if you've not received a response yet, but we will ensure you receive a response from your, from our team members very soon. So next question, Sumi Hokato. I would like to know following questions. What are the protocol for organizing? We need to take permission from UGC. Maybe I can take that. So no, you don't need to take permission from UGC. UGC has already asked you to form the Heritage Club and refer all the modules of SPIC MACAY, which is why we are doing this orientation, to give you the information of all the SPIC MACAY activities. How do we update the progress report, and how do we apply for the fund? Ma'am, would you like to answer that question? Sure, ma'am.
How do we?
How do we update the progress report, and how do we apply for the fund?
Actually, question of report comes when you take up the activities. When you take up the activities, when a particular artist comes or performs, or one craft person comes and performs, you make a report of the entire thing, and then you send us one copy. And it's not that we expect you to keep an annual report or this thing. But yes, if you keep it with yourself, it is very helpful to re-refer. And funding, just now, Dinesh sir had said how you can do it. Mostly, the college has some part of funds to be kept aside for these activities. If not, then you can reach your, like bank, like the PSU, like some company. Corporate world has its responsibility towards, as a social responsibility, they are supposed to segregate some amount, like 2% of their earnings for these activities. So you can try wherever you can get. But the Heritage Club of your institution will come to your help when you go to the management as a group and say that we want to get involved with SPIC MACAY and we want to have these activities. So kindly, sir, set aside some funds where we can conduct it successfully. Does that answer your question? Yes? Okay. And then that Rajasthan person came and put a question saying that the response from the local chapter was not very good. So you can put your name, your telephone number in the chat box. Sabya, will you be able to revive that number, etc.? Then we can give it to the concerned person. If and
or
whom
ask them
did
to
they
send an
approach?
email. What I will suggest,
Yeah.
let them send an email. They have all
Yes.
the contact details on the communication which has been sent to them. Then I'm sure they will get a proper response.
Yeah, and also who was the person they contacted, so that we also know and we don't re-refer to them.
I think we can take this like separately because
Yeah.
Yes.
I've shared our contact numbers in the chat. Okay, so you, ma'am, you can feel.
Yeah, they can talk to us. Yes.
Yeah. We'll ensure that you receive a response, and we'll conduct activities soon in your institution. Point of contact.
Point of contact in Kerala, we can give Unni's number.
Okay.
Sabya, I think Kashish has a hand raised there. The question from Kashish. Let's see a hand raised. Or is already answered.
No, I think she has already asked the question.
Okay, Kashish and user, these were two hands which were raised.
They should remove that hand, from there.
Yeah.
And in case your question is like you still need to reach out to us after this also, you can call or email us. We are available. So any question regarding the local coordinators numbers or those things, we can share with you. So I think other than the regional coordinators numbers that we will share with you, any other questions anybody would like to ask? Dr. Anju Gupta, would you like to ask?
Yes, sir. I'm Dr. Anju Gupta from Jaipur. It is Khandelwal Vaishya Girls Institute of Technology. I also want to associate it with the SPIC MACAY since a long time, and I got this opportunity this time. Thank you. I just want to know that if we want to proceed for an event, as we came to know about so many activities today, so do we need to mail you regarding all these things that what we want, or if we have like your future event which are already in planner, so that we can associate with that only? Like in Jaipur, if you have proposed some program to be held in the coming time, future, so we can associate with that, or we have to prepare our own planner for this.
So it will be mutually worked upon, right, between your schedule and as well as if any artists are available in your in Jaipur, right? At that certain point of time, your coordinator will also inform you. So you will put you in touch with our Jaipur coordinator, and he will inform you if artists are, sometimes, some artists are available or traveling at
Yeah.
that point of time. So that has to be mutually worked out, and it can be both ways. It may happen that the Jaipur coordinator will say that, okay, we are doing a circuit of many institutions in a certain week, right? And then he might ask if you are interested to host it, or vice versa. You may find a certain week of the year suitable, and that you can suggest that, okay, in this week or dates, suitable dates, we would like to host a program as per your schedule, and then he can work it out for you. But yeah, essentially the objective should be served, as long as we are able to conduct activities in your institution. That is the main objective. So it can be worked upon. And
Definitely, definitely, we want to conduct the activity at our premises, and we want to associate more institution for this. But as of now, we are like have just come to know about this. We have no idea that we can invite for, yeah,
yeah, go on. Okay.
whom we can invite for a particular event or for a particular workshop and all. So in the that context, either one of you can share the details that these are the people which may be available in future, and these are the specific dates for which we can enroll ourselves. So it will be of a great help. Once we get associated, definitely we from our side initiative can be taken. But as of
For
now, we
this,
want you to
for
be
this,
just give us a proposals ki these things are available, and we can just go with you.
it does not work like that, ma'am. What I would
Yeah.
suggest for your problem is you just send an email saying all these things, and we will connect you with the Jaipur coordinator. Jaipur coordinator Sabya is that lady. What is her name? I'm forgetting her name.
Anu Chandok is there, and Anand Agarwal.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So if you have the number, you can give it to her. Otherwise, you just write a mail. We will give you all the clarifications. And once you connect with the coordinator, you have to tell the coordinator that as per our calendar, these are the dates available for the program. You can chalk out an year-long program, or you can chalk out a program for every time you can do this, that this date is available, and we want these art forms, and your chapter coordinator will look for the suitable artists for you. That's how there is no special formation of anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think one point I am sharing in the chat box with you official proposal for which you can formulate when you discuss with your concerned authorities. You can use this proposal as a document to officially initiate your heritage club. We don't need to mention the artist names there. Okay, we need to mention the planned activities and so on. Okay, so I'm sharing that with you, and I'm also sharing in the chat box a MOU format, right? Those who are interested to sign MOU with us, we have a ready-made format available. You just need to use that, and you can have a discussion with your principal or head of institution, and we need, like, he or she can sign on that document, and we can have the signatory from our chapter or our national coordinators, and you can officially get started. So ma'am, does that answer your question? If you require official documentation, as far as that is concerned, we are sharing with you the template in the chat box. You can immediately get started with that. Ma'am, you requested for official details, right? How so does that help you if we share with you the proposal and the MOU?
Yes, she says yes.
Okay, perfect. Um, okay, okay. I don't see any other hands. We just want to add one more point. So I'm sharing the MOU template. Okay. These are the official documentation. It has list of modules and activities, and you can get it signed. We recently, as an example, some of you also asked like how you can spread it to other colleges and institutions. As one of our recent activities, we have something called as Dashang series, where a host college can take a leadership role and invite 10 other colleges or schools in your local region, and we can have a series of 10 workshop demonstrations, and they in during the day the artist will go to the respective institution, and post in the second half there will be a workshop where you can invite those 10 schools or colleges together at a place to experience the workshop module. So that's something we have called as a Dashang series, where one host institute can take a leadership role in spreading it to 10 other institutions across the community. And recently, just want to also add, we concluded our National Cinema Screening Week, where host institutions inviting over 10 to 20 other schools and colleges from various parts of the city and region. And you can see here, just for information, this cinema screening was done in more than 100 or 120, like 120 institutions, and in turn they spread it to many other institutions in their cities. So you can see this was in Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. So, and this way you can prepare the report of each and every event, and you can use it for your documentation purposes, right? So hope this answers those who had questions about the documented report about activities. So this way, you can take a leadership role and spread it to many institutions. And the cinema screening, thank you. And cinema screening, there's no cost associated with this module of SPIC MACAY. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Any last question, or any last question? Anyone? Shividya ji, you want to ask?
Good morning. I'm from PSBB KK Nagar School from Chennai. Yearly two programs we have it through SPIC MACAY, and we have also attended workshops there. And we have our own heritage club in school. So further, what we have to do, we have to register through read the documents which you have shared, and can we proceed or?
Yes, you can proceed. You can use these documents to form the club, and you can officially proceed. And
So
we'll
there we have to tell them that we have to have a SPIC MACAY Heritage Club along with their other clubs. So this should have a unique identity with
Okay.
specific 10-member group, and
Okay.
then you have to call it as PSBB School KK Nagar SPIC MACAY Heritage Club.
Okay, understood,
Yeah,
ma'am. Understood.
otherwise you will not get an exclusivity, and you will
Okay.
not get an opportunity to approach your management accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So, yes, thank you. So, I think one more question in the chat. What are the three differences between these three documents? So, I'm sharing the MOU template for schools, MOU template for colleges, and thirdly, a proposal for forming the Heritage Club. Which three documents I'm sharing? So, you can utilize them in accordance as per your requirement. one is for just for Heritage Club, one is for MOU, and one is like we've also given two formats, one for schools and one for colleges. So hope that answers your question. Okay, so any more questions, feel free to ask. And regarding the coordinators numbers, right? So you can just drop us an email, or even send us a WhatsApp. We can share it with you. I'm putting the all the coordinators number in the chat. Okay, so I think we don't have any other questions as a so we have reached the end of the present today's seminar. So I would like to invite our very senior coordinator, Srimati Usha Chandran ma'am, to formally propose a vote of thanks to the orientation session today.
Dear all who are present here, thank you very much for having come for this orientation. I'm very confident that with the kind of wisdomful words started by Shri Arun Sahai, the introduction of various modules by Dinesh Chand sir, the introduction of crafts by Madam Neeraja Sareen, and the introduction to Heritage Club by Sabyasachi Day, and the volunteerism by our Ma'am Suman Dongaji. They are all very passionate volunteers with us, and we hope that you all will take up this assignment, the Nishkam Seva part of it, and I'm sure you will give back something to the society at an appropriate part. Right now, kindly create a heritage club, do the activity, ask for an activity. We will always assist you in whichever way we can. And I hope this orientation has introduced SPIC MACAY far and wide so that you can make use of it. It is for you. People have worked on this project for 7 years now, and all our artists have supported us, including Ustad Bismillah Khan, who used to travel with his luggage at the back um, to the far remote areas, mountainous areas. So let us see that, as the Discover Yourself said, that it is your heritage. You have to preserve it. You have to either you let it go or you preserve it and take it forward. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sabya. Thank you, Saji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye, everyone. Have a nice day, rest of the day. Okay.